throughout history, different cultures all over the world reference a great tournament.
La franquicia de peleas más famosa del mundo de los videojuegos está llegando con una película que promete.
That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation to fight for something known. As Mortal Kombat.
Y todos los detalles los traemos por aquí, en Bastidores Space, Mortal Kombat. Como una superproducción de Warner, Mortal Kombat cuenta con la participación de actores de todo el mundo. Y las presentadoras de Warner Channel, Gaby Cam y Valentina Pulgarín, conversarán con todos ellos para contarnos más sobre la película.
It had the same marking you do, Cole.
It's a birthmark.
What do you mean?
He was born with it.
Going into this film, we wanted to kind of give the audience the characters that they know and that they love, but at the same time, we want to offer some people that maybe are not familiar with the franchise a way into the world. Cole is kind of their eyes and ears and their way into exploring these different characters.
These are your champions.
I'm Sonia. That's Kano.
Not to put pressure on you, but Sonia is my favorite character. She's my choice.
Do you remember how it felt to see, oh, this is Sonia, this is Kano?
I mean, I got really excited. I was on my couch and I was like, oh my God.
How would you describe Kano and Sonia's relationship?
Oh, come on, what do you say? You want to dance?
From the very beginning, Kano and Sonia are linked.
As much as we want to kill each other, we can't because we both need each other to get to the final destination. So it was a really fun thing to play, that it was like a bit of a love-hate relationship.
I'm Liu Kang. Kung Lao.
And it seems to me like Kung Lao and Liu Kang are kind of like the moral compass of the whole story.
I do think that they kind of complement each other. They're the strongest when they're together and they're working as a team. Being Shaolin monks, they live up to a certain code and martial morality, if you want to call it like that. So there's a strong connection between the both, also because they're cousins.
It's an interesting dynamic between, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, because Kung Lao does have many moves. He can teleport, he can throw hats, he has, all these crazy fatalities and kicks and all this stuff, whereas Liu Kang has stuck with the same moves from the first video game to the last video game, because they're good moves.
Cute. Real cute. Let's see you try that again. That's the only move you know, mate. Ah, no. Yeah, put a shirt on, Magic Mike.
I think what makes Kano funny is his relationship to everyone else. So it's one thing to say a funny line, but really what I think is the best part of Kano is exactly how Sonia reacts to him.
Everyone else in the universe is really serious. And also he plays on that.
True.
Being serious.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. In contrast to all of these other serious characters, it makes it even more funny.
Name's Jax.
What I love about Jax is that he's probably the one who struggles the most physically throughout the film. So what would you say are his motivations to keep on fighting and be that warrior Mortal Kombat needs?
I think when you have a warrior's heart, it doesn't matter what happens to the body. We see it all the time with people who are willing to sacrifice their lives for a larger purpose. He's struggling because he loses his arms, but his heart is still intact. There's something in their spirit, there's something in their character that keeps them going, and Jax has that.
That's so nice.
There's some really beautiful moments that you had there with those scenes too. I gotta say, there's
thanks,
it was very moving to watch that myself.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
The fate of Earth is in our hands.
While watching this film, I really felt like I was playing the video game. But were there moments on set for you where you actually felt like you were in a video game?
After, when I would leave the set, I'd be like, holy shit, was that Scorpion? Oh, crazy.
Yeah. Sometimes leaving set, I was like, that was Sub-Zero. I just fought Sub-Zero.
feel like what you did with Bihan is everything a fan wanted to see on screen. So I wanted to know what was the key on portraying this character and especially his movements, because I know you are no stranger to martial arts, but come on.
Well, you know, to perform a fight scene, just to look badass, it's half of the journey. But the most important is to feel Sub-Zero with a lot of motivations, to feel the character more as alive, with emotions, with feelings. I didn't even think about the fight. I think about who he is first and what happened to him. So from there, it's just easier, you know, because when you fight, all the attitude, you know, the gesture, the way you walk, the way you see your opponent, the way you underestimate them, the way you deliver energy from this area, I didn't even have to act because when I'm in the costume, straight away it's just like straight away like I am Sub-Zero. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. You gotta find this character first. You gotta think like he thinks. You gotta feel like what he feels. All the dilemma, contemplation is here. So all you gotta do is just be you, be Sub-Zero.
I am Sub-Zero.
And something else that was crazy was your armor, because it felt like it was a pretty heavy-duty armor.
Valentina, it was heavy. 2 weeks of back pain, you know, to just adapting with the weight. The first 2-3 weeks, me in that costume, every time I take it off, I still like feel it, you know. I go to the hotel, like there's like someone holding me from the back. If you know, that's kind of feeling that after you have so much weight on you. But of course, the excitement, me inside the costume defeated everything. It's just my body physically needs to adapt. But after 3 weeks, it was just like pure me as a Sub-Zero. No way, nothing.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil to capture a wanted fugitive.
Thank you for mentioning Brazil in the beginning of the trailer. That took us down.
Greg wrote that. You guys can all tell Greg Russo how much you love him.
When we got there, it tore through our unit in seconds.
How did you choose which fatality that the fans love would get in this movie and which wouldn't?
Greg Russo, the writer, really he had some very specific ideas on what he felt they should be, and Greg was a big driver in what they were. Really, it was just a question of making sure that they all had some variety to them, so that they weren't always the same style of thing.
This is more than just seeing a movie produced. This is seeing something that I've been passionate about my whole life finally come to the screen.
Do you know your favorite fatality in the movie?
I know it, but if I tell it, then I spoil it. So
okay, so it's a big one.
It's gonna be a surprising one, and it's gonna be brutal. That's all I can say.
I think I'm thinking along the same lines as Max.
Claro que no podían faltar muchas peleas del videojuego.
Fight!
Who's your character of choice?
Mine's Sonia as well.
I used to play with Liu Kang.
How many hours of Mortal Kombat playing does it take to star in the film adaptation?
Evidently not that much. You are talking to the two actors who probably played the least amount of Mortal Kombat of the whole cast.
I played a bit before, but when you actually get into the making of the film, you do not have any time for video games.
Not even in between takes? That's not something that happens in the set?
Really. The actors played a lot of video games while they were working, but I didn't.
Well, I'll just say this. Joe Taslim, who plays Sub-Zero, is really good at the video game. And we had it on set and we had it in our hotel. He would beat my ass in that game every time.
Mine too.
So yeah, don't mess with Joe.
Well, I tried my best, man. I tried my best.
Joe Taslim is the best at the game of everyone.
Is that true?
Well, thank you, Simon. That's so sweet. Like, I'm flattered. I'm flattered. I'm blushing right now.
And on a quick note, I think Joe Taslim would kick everyone's ass in real life too, not only in the video game.
I don't know about Lewis.
Oh yeah, right, Lewis. Yeah, let's not forget about Lewis.
No,
I think that's a pretty fair fight.
Joe is a beast, so I wouldn't want to fight him. That's for sure.
We shot the whole film in Adelaide. One of the great things about South Australia that it's a lot of really visually stunning locations. Not only that, it's some great filmmakers, great crew came out of South Australia. Really, really super talented people.
I always believe as an actor as well that I just don't act with my co-actor. I just don't work with the crew. I work with the wind, the temperature, in the ground. I need to feel the sand. I need to feel the grass. So on a real set, you feel everything. So it helped me a lot in my performance.
There was moments where I thought that it was surreal. You know, it felt kind of fantastical and very familiar to the feeling of what it was like to see those sets, you know, like the backgrounds in the games and stuff.
Great, beautiful visual, but at the same time, it's just so easy to work with, you know, especially for actors.
We tried to make this as grounded and real as possible.
South Australia delivered. That's just stunning location, you know.
But it's challenging for the crew, I gotta say, because, you know, you gotta bring all the machines on top of the mountain.
I know you both are into martial arts. Was there a particular move from these characters that you really wanted to pull off and learn and to do on set?
Well, of course. And it had to be the bicycle kick for Liu Kang. There is nothing more iconic than that move.
It was more just about training, really. It was like, yeah, that we could do all the research in the world, but I also wanted to be like fit, physically fit, and be able to pull off all of the stunts, because that's such a big part of this role. And Sonia's such a kick-ass, badass chick.
Myself as a martial artist, I can, you know, I felt like I could bring something authentic to the table.
I put a lot of energy and work into like my physical appearance, and also like diving into all of the stunt training as much as I could.
In Mortal Kombat, talent will only get you so far.
I don't think it's about how many of those moves you can do, but it's more about if you know one to the extent of being close to perfect, that's better than knowing 1,000 different things. That's just my mentality and how I train.
Before leaving you, I need to ask you, what was your favorite quote from the video game?
I mean, finish him, obviously.
I think probably it's my quote. A Lin Kuei assassin is for the Lin Kuei.
You know, I think a lot of Liu Kang's quotes have a lot of wisdom behind them. Like, the hardest part is yet to come, or the challenge has just begun. Even the iconic Mortal Kombat saying, test your might. I think that's what life is. It's constantly testing your might, giving you challenges for you to overcome. It never ends. It's only a direction for you to go.
I see, for me, get over here. Get over here.
You need to say it with the boys.
Get over here.
Let's finish this.
This movie is about representation and diversity. You really get to showcase the diverse amount of cultures that's inherent, and it's not just skin deep.
I was born in Germany. I think Ludi was born in China.
We have Tadanobu and Hiroki-san coming from Japan. Lewis is born in England, but he grew up in America. Josh, Australia. It's really a global film, and I think in this day and age, you're making a movie for the world. This film is built around the idea of blood, and blood represents family, blood represents passion.
It's a very personal film to me because I love all the characters. I love the whole Mortal Kombat universe, and growing up playing the game and up until today, it became like part of my life actually. So it's something that I really love and want to protect and share it with you guys.
Lots of very talented people worked on this movie. It's a team sport, so I literally couldn't have done it without them. I simply couldn't.
As an actor, and then getting to see, you know, these iconic characters, it was a surreal experience for myself as well. So I think the audience hopefully feels that same journey that I felt.
Mortal Kombat llega ahora a los cines y en poco tiempo la podrán ver desde su casa. Para más novedades del cine, no te lo pierdas. Bastidores Space, Mortal Kombat.
Kano wins.